The time of the new moon is the cosmic reset. It's the beginning of the cycle. It is the highest and lowest tides of the month, just like we have in the full moon. And it is the best time for planting seeds, starting new projects, getting out old projects and revamping them, and taking the energy from the moon and adding it to the intention and your project just exponentially explodes the magic that is possible. And this could be around any area of life. There is no limits on what you can use moon magic for. So the new moon is what we're talking about today. And now just to note that a lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about, they can also totally apply to the full moon, and just remembering that the new moon is for reset. So it's the beginning of the cycle, and the full moon is the end of the cycle, and that is for letting things go. So it's just the opposite ends of the same thing. So starting new projects or releasing blocks to the projects. So as you are doing projects, and you will find things that come up that are resistance or blocks around them, or you're having difficulties and speed bumps that are happening. So you can use the full moon to release those as you're going through the cycle. Okay, so let's start off with the new moon. I love this part of the month. So this is the darkest phase of the moon. It's time to plant seeds, focus on what you want to flow into your life for this next cycle. And just as again, the tides are the highest, this is the strongest energy of the moon that we have on the earth. So a lot of people are very affected by this. And if you find yourself really in sync with moon cycles, then this is perfect strategy for you. These are perfect tips and tools to use. If you're somebody, I do know people who don't even notice the moon. Kind of, it's not in their radar. It's not their biggest draw or pull. Then find one that works for you. That's some other thing that really draws you or pulls you. But for those of us who love the moon, this is it. So, and you can use cycles of the moon, I love this, to set goals and timelines for yourself. We might as well if you are drawn to the moon, then you might as well use it to your advantage. I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? So if you look at your calendar and set out when the new moon is, when the full moon is, then you can set your goals accordingly. You can make a timeline for yourself that lines up with those so that you're in sync and you just have that extra momentum, that extra push behind you. We might as well use everything that we can. I mean, the universe is here. It gives us all the tools. It gives us everything that we need. We just need to be aware and then use them. Okay, so planting seeds, celebrating what's going right with things, starting new projects, bringing old projects out of the cobwebs and dusting them off and getting them going again. So one of the things that, as I was researching this and doing some work and thinking back to the last 15 years I've been doing this work, I noticed that one of the things that came to me was the moon is this wonderful focal point. Billions of people are watching the same moon. It has the ability to focus many people on one intention. So you could have a prayer group around moon cycles. You could have a journaling group. You could have any kind of group of people, even if it was like 2 or more, that's a group, that focus, have a common intention, and then use the moon to bring that focus into place. So it's just this really great kind of collaborator in bringing people together, because it's one thing that we all have in common. I just thought that was like great when they downloaded that. So today we're going to talk about, they said, I'm just reading my notes. So using a moon as a focal point, we can connect to loved ones and soul family around the globe. Love it. Okay, so we're going to talk about rituals, about celebrating and gratitude. So rituals can amplify the intention. A ritual is a way to bring both our human self and our spirit self working together, which is what I am all about. And it really, it's like a touchstone for bringing our humanness into focus for our spirituality. So, and often people will ask me, oh, well, I don't have time to do rituals, or I don't know what to do. So I have gathered kind of a guideline of 10 steps that you can use in creating rituals. They're all really short and easy. Don't be daunted by the number 10. And it can be as simple as lighting a candle and saying a prayer of gratitude, or it can be as complex as a retreat. It's totally up to you. The important thing to remember about rituals is that the effectiveness of them is directly in proportion to how important it is to you. So if it resonates with you, then it will be more effective than if you choose something because you think that's how it should be. Pick the one that resonates. So if simply lighting a candle and saying a prayer is what resonates with you, that is going to be more effective than doing some elaborate altar and ritual that takes an hour. That won't work for you if that's not important to you. So whatever resonates with you is the way to go. So as we go through the 10 guidelines, always keep that in mind, that you do what feels right for you. And over time or different phases of our life, it will change. So sometimes I like real elaboration and sometimes I like simplicity. It just depends on what's going on in my life, how I'm feeling, how motivated I am, all kinds of stuff. So do whatever resonates for you, and just trust that it's most effective when it resonates. Okay, number 1, get clear on your purpose for the ritual. Your purpose could be anything from, oh, I really want to increase my spiritual practices. I'm interested in the moon and I would really like to get more connected. I just want 15 minutes of peace and quiet. Whatever the purpose is, and be completely honest with yourself. If you just want to hide and get 15 minutes of quiet, then that's what the purpose of the ritual is. So again, whatever resonates for you. Number 2, set your altar or sacred space. This can be either a permanent space or the one you have in the moment. I have done rituals in hotel rooms. I have done them on the road in my car. I have had permanent altars set up in my house. They all work. It just needs to be preferably somewhere you're not going to get disturbed, somewhere where you do not have your phone with you, somewhere where you can just have whatever timeline you need for yourself. Now, the benefit of having a sacred space in your home, whether it is simply a collection on a windowsill or beside a favorite chair, a few crystals beside your bed, whatever, it is a touchstone that kind of triggers your humanness. Oh, we're going to go do that. We're going to tap into our intuition here. We're going to have a few moments of quiet. It's like the reminder, it's the clue or the key to getting your humanness on board. And because we do sacred work there again and again and again, even if it is at your desk, but you pull over a little tray that has crystals or a candle and so forth, when we do the sacred work in one space over and over again, that energy lingers. You're walking into a space that is already holding sacred energy, that is already holding the space of connection to spirit. So those are the advantages of having sacred spaces in your home or using ritual pieces for rituals again and again, a particular set of crystals or a candle that you like. I love my diffuser with essential oils, whatever works for you. but that's why we do it. Okay, number 3, clear your mind and body for easy connection. For your body, maybe it's just ease out some tension from the day, take a couple of deep breaths, have a sip of water. For me, when I do readings, taking a breath and having a sip of water is my instant connection to spirit. It just does it. Like I'm there, right there. So whatever works for you. Drink water, meditate, smudge, essential oils, whatever works, whatever you want. Just take a little relaxing breath and smile. This is the key to connection. I think if anybody was going to say, if after 15 years of doing this, I think those are the two, a deep breath and a smile, will connect you faster than anything. Okay. Number 4, call in the spirit of the moon. If we're going to be doing a moon cycle, we might as well invite her to the party. So you can always also ask in your angels, your higher self, who I always recommend you invite because they have the broader perspective. They're you with a broader perspective. You can ask particular guides or a specific guardian, archangel, or loved ones that have passed over. So invite in who you would like with respect, politeness, just as if we were speaking to an elder. Number 5, speak, write, or sing your intention clearly. So in a couple of minutes, at the bottom here, we're going to talk about more about how to set an intention. But so you want to bring forward into the ritual your intention. So the purpose of the ritual and the intention are two different things. The purpose is, what do I want to accomplish in this time period that I have for myself? And then your intention is, what is the energy that I want to draw into myself and I want to put out to the universe? That's the intention. So number 6, focusing on your intention, increase the energy. So it's kind of like we started the fire with stating our intention clearly, and now we're going to add logs to it. So we're going to increase the burn. We're going to increase the energy. We want to really get this going. We want to get some little juice behind it, a little fire in it, before we release it to the universe. So we want to amp it up a little bit. So you can listen to more intense music. I love to listen to drumming music or chanting. You can chant yourself. You can hum or sing or dance. And as you do more and more rituals, you will find yourself more comfortable and more expressive, and more freedom will come to you. Because I know that for me personally, it took me a long time doing workshops to like get up and move freely, because that's just not kind of who I am. And now it's much easier. So it's just whatever feels good to you, but you want to ramp it up a little bit. So, and then number 7 is we're going to release that intention with all of that compressed energy out into the universe. So now that you've like given it some juice, you're going to fling it out to the universe. So whatever way works for you. For me, when I was doing this, as I was preparing this, I really saw it as this bowl of my intention and the energy, and it was like sparks almost flying in there. It was like this blue energy that just sparked, and this bowl, it was all in this bowl, and I was handing it over to the spirit of the moon, and she was taking it back up into the sky to cascade over the universe. And it was just like, oh, I love that. Like it was, so whatever image, whatever thought, whatever comes up for you, however you want to fling it out. Oh, fireworks just came into my mind. You could see fireworks, shooting your intention out to the universe. You want to get it out there so that the universe can help line up synchronicity. Okay. Let's see, number 8. So now that we're done, and this could take a couple of minutes this whole time between 1 and 8, or it could take an hour, whatever you have, whatever you want to do for yourself. Number 8, now that we've intensified the energy, We've been connected to the whole universe and spirit of the moon, and now we're going to come back and get grounded. So if you're outside doing your ritual, you can put your hands on the earth or your bare feet on the earth. Get back grounded again. Touch a tree, hug a tree. If you're inside, you can imagine roots or ribbons coming out of your bottom of your feet back into the earth to be anchored in from your root chakra. So you just want to get back grounded. Excuse me. Number 9, you want to thank everybody for helping. So you want to, again, respect, gratitude, thankfulness. You want to thank the spirit of the moon for coming. You want to thank the angels that you invited. So basically anybody that you've invited to come and play, you want to thank them for showing up and for assisting and for helping you and for being there and all that. It's just like having a relationship with a good friend. If you don't use manners, if you're not consistent in gratitude and appreciation, it gets harder to use. And number 10, so you want to decompress. Now that you're grounded again, you want to take a few minutes for deep breaths, maybe a stretch, a walk, drinking some water or tea. Take a few minutes to journal. And if you're in a group, now's a great time for a hug and to share your experience. Okay, so those are the 10 basic kind of outlines or guidelines for creating a ritual. And those could be any kind of rituals you want. So maybe it was in a bathtub, maybe you were taking a bath, maybe all kinds of things. But those are kind of like the outlines that you can then create any ritual for any time you want. But full moon and new moon are a perfect time. Okay, so now I said before that we're going to talk a little bit about intentions, because I get this question a lot about, well, how do I know I got the right intention? Like, what is setting an intention? People say it a lot and they kind of just expect you to know what to do, but lots of people I find are kind of confused about setting an intention. So we're going to learn how to set an intention. So number 1, turn off your distractions. Turn off your phone for a minute. Go into the room and close your door, whatever you need to do. Just try and get away from distractions for a few minutes so that you can do this, because you really need to kind of focus on this. So sit quietly, take a couple of deep breaths. Funny how deep breaths are like the beginning for every spiritual practice. My intention or my suggestion is always you place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, because you want to connect to your heart and your intuition and your guidance, and you want to connect to your body. So you want to be, the universe uses our body as the receiving tower for intuition. So all the information comes through our body. So we need to be present in our body in order to get the information. Okay, so we want to be present. We want to connect both our heart and our body together. So place one hand on your heart, one on your stomach. Oh, and then I always ask for my higher self. So our higher self is the 70% of us that doesn't fit in our body. So way more of us is not in our body than is in our body. So that higher self has a much broader perspective. There is no time, no space, no limitations, and they have the view of everything. They can see the past, present, and future. They can see across the globe, across the universe. They have just a much bigger view of the world and life in general. And they can see specifically what you need or want or whatever. When we're unclear, our higher self has clarity. So I invite in my higher self, and then I ask for guidance. My first question is, what do I most desire? And then just let it fall in. Give yourself a moment. Take a breath. Don't try and fill it with a word. Just pause as if you're waiting for the next person to speak and give you this golden nugget. Pause and see what lands. See what comes through into your intuition. It may be a sensation in your body. It may be in a particular place. It may have a color. It may be a word or a vision. It could be anything. But what do I most desire? If you're unsure of what comes through, you can ask questions. Oh, is that about my career? Is it that I really want a career that feels more in line with my soul purpose? Ooh, does it feel exciting? Does it feel expansive or peaceful? You'll, with a little bit of practice, you will very quickly discern what your yes and excitement feels like and what no, that's not it. Now, if you were to ask the question, maybe you're unsure about what's coming through, but something around career comes through and you're like, oh, yeah, is it that I would like a career that's more aligned with my soul purpose? And all of a sudden you feel this like, oh, I don't want to go there. You might want to ask a question about that. Oh, isn't that interesting? I had a reaction around that. Is there a fear that I would like to get over? Is there a block I'd like to release around that? And then see what comes through. So you can ask a few questions. You don't have to, it's not always the tip of the iceberg, you can go down a little bit. You can dig a little. Once you get an idea, and don't think too much about it, like really don't go too far down the rabbit hole, because then it's your brain and not your heart thinking. So just kind of go with what comes. Even if you have to ask 2 or 3 questions, but don't go much further than that. Then, okay, so it is around my career. Okay, got it. Okay. Yes, I would really love to do something more aligned with my soul purpose. Or I would like to have my career that is aligned with my soul purpose be financially abundant. Whatever. Then imagine how it would feel when it comes true. So when the universe lines up synchronicity and it all goes doot, 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 just like that, what does it feel like when I'm living in that end result? Because this is the place, that's the feeling that you want to get really clear on, because that is going to be the strongest magnet for drawing that into coming into your reality. It is from that elevated emotional state where you feel gratitude, where you feel freedom, where you feel whatever it is that you want to feel, that your desire will come true. So we need to not just have the intention, but we need to be able to experience it in our body in the moment, what it feels like when it's come true. Okay, so now you have your intention. You know what it feels like when it came true. And now you can write it down in the positive present moment. So an example is, I am so joyful that I am living this abundant financial freedom through what I love to do, or whatever it is. I'm living in my dream condo while, working at my perfect ideal job, whatever it is. Okay, so that's how you can set an intention. And again, with practice, it gets faster. And sometimes, even after 15 years, I have to really pause, and it can take 5 or 10 minutes to come up with an intention that feels really right. So don't limit yourself, and don't worry if it takes a minute, and don't worry if it comes in 30 seconds, because that can happen too. Okay. So some more ideas around moon magic rituals. One of them is you could take a bath with candles and essential oils. It's a perfect place to not be disturbed and to get totally relaxed. I love this one. You could have a potluck or dinner with like-minded friends and engage in a circle ritual with meditation, or you could do some singing, or have some, people contribute different things and really encourage and share with each other. You could make a vision board. You could do a tarot reading or an oracle reading, oracle cards. And this one I love. You can make, because I love water, you can make moon water. So almost every day, at least every couple of days, I have a jug, a blue glass jug that I put in the sunshine that I make this blue water from. But I had forgotten about moon water because I used to love it when my kids were young. We used to make moon water. So all you do is you take a glass container. It is preferable to have glass. So you take a glass container and you put your water in it. Now, this is the part that I love to add, and I didn't quite prepare ahead of time, but anyways, then you take a strip of paper and you write your intention or loving words on the paper. Then you take it and you put the words towards your water. And then you're just going to attach that paper to the glass. You can tie it around with string or an elastic or a piece of tape, whatever. And then you're going to place your water in the energy of the moon. So you want to, it can be outside, preferably with a cover on, or you can leave it inside in the windowsill that's on the side of the house with the moon that the moon shines from. You could do this in both full moon and in the new moon. It doesn't matter. It works both ways. And then after, you just leave it overnight. And in the morning, you can use it for drinking. You can use it for adding to your bath water, adding to any kind of ritual you do. You can water plants with it. You can put it in a mister and put it on your sheets or your pillows or a chair that you sit in. You can also put it in, what just came through was putting it in the diffuser with your essential oils, to use that as well. So there are some ideas. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to leave a comment or put a thumbs up. Helps the channel grow, and subscribe if you want to know more information and get more videos like these. And I just want to say thank you everybody so much for being here, and I will see you all soon. Have a great day.